Like me, once you watched the Manchild music video, you likely had the urge to rewatch it. Once you rewatched it, you may have had the urge to rewatch it again, given the sheer amount of things you realized you missed the first time. I'm here to save you from your next rewatch, along with some Easter eggs, fan theories, and of course, an outfit and car count. Let's get started. Now, the video starts off with Sabrina jumping out of a moving vehicle, promptly getting back up and waving down a new car. By now, everyone has realized that the cars Sabrina keeps jumping in and out of are meant to symbolize her various relationships. We see that normal cars keep passing by Sabrina, but then the guy that ends up stopping is literally in only the front half of a truck, and that thing is barely standing up straight. This is a great reference to the lyric, "I swear they choose me, I'm not choosing them," since it's really not up to her who stops to pick her up. Overall, the hitchhiking in the desert gives the impression that she's looking for love in a dry place, where good men seldom pass by, and if they do, they don't stop for her. Also, if you didn't notice, Manchild is embroidered on her shorts in this scene. Anyway, the back half of the truck missing could symbolize a guy who looks like he has it all, but once you get into the relationship, you realize there's really nothing there. Once she gets into the car, she seems really bored, which goes along with this theory, but then she says goodbye peacefully, as if the two people just went their separate ways. After this, all hell breaks loose. Let's look at relationship number 2, which isn't the second one shown in the video, but it is the one that gets the most screen time. First, we see a guy on the road trying to fix their relationship slash car slash relationship. You get what I mean. But Sabrina's already looking for another relationship and succeeds because, as many people have called him, the Shawn Mendes lookalike pulls up. I'm gonna leave that one up in the air. As I said, we see this guy a lot throughout the music video. If you look at his leather jacket, this is the same man that has a sword as the parking brake, and the steering wheel looks like it was attached, to put it lightly, on the wrong vehicle. This is also the same guy that has the chandelier and the squirrel in the car. You may not have noticed that this was the same guy because, first of all, Sabrina changes outfits when she's with him. She starts off with a purple checkered outfit on. At one point, she actually seems to completely lose her clothes, then she changes into a fur coat. The confusion is also exacerbated by the fact that by the end of the video, the man is in a completely different car, but we saw Sabrina in both of the cars in both outfits. It's strange, and it was also done purposefully, like this was not accidental. Perhaps it was just filmed this way to add to the chaos, or the different cars but the same guy featured throughout the video could represent a relationship that ended but was then rekindled with the same person, or more generally a long-term but on and off relationship. Maybe the different outfits represent Sabrina's different attitudes or different states of mind when in the relationship. We'll never know. Maybe it's just for fun. We do know why the relationship ended. It's because the guy seems a little bit self-destructive. Maybe she also left because his whip got downgraded. There's also a bunch of metaphors to look into there. We see Sabrina wave a happy goodbye to him out of her own free will, indicating a relatively peaceful end to the relationship and her just probably leaving for her own good. He then proceeds to drive straight off of the cliff. I think enough has been said. At this point, Sabrina still has her baggage with her. She's carrying her baggage from relationship to relationship. You can see where I'm going with this. It's probably her emotional baggage. Moving on to relationship number 4, I've chosen to continue with this one because she has the same fur coat on as she did when she said bye to the firework guy. Somebody on the ground looks incapacitated or perhaps dead. Sabrina seems unhappy with the guy that is alive. We see this man, tattoo guy, one more time in the music video in the clip with the tub. Now, at first, given the fate of his friend and the fact that Sabrina is booking it out of the window, I thought he was dead. However, given that, upon inspection, the clip with Sabrina clutching the actual murder weapon in the music video features a completely different guy, and the fact that tattoo guy actually has a pillow and blanket in his tub, we're going to assume that he's sleeping. Sabrina got fed up with arguing with him and just simply left in the night. Number 4, back to the murder weapon. This man crashed their relationship into a pool, drowned it actively. Sabrina evidently did not like that. Number 5, the car in this clip is awfully similar to the one that was in the pool, however, the guy seems different. This guy is also actively washing his face with gasoline. I love the details in this clip as well. Not only is Sabrina smoking a cigarette from a fork, but the windshield wipers are on and have napkins attached underneath them. But the car does seem to be dirty, and given the fact that the guy is trying to wash his eyes out, they likely went through some sort of sandstorm. Maybe an outside factor that was making the relationship difficult, or maybe he's just an idiot. Maybe it was another guy, his friend, that crashed their relationship into the pool later and is the one at fault. That would be interesting. Number 6, we're on to Hotel Guy. Sabrina meets Hotel Guy while dancing. I'm guessing something goes south. She gets angry at him. She takes a coin and a ball of some sort out of nowhere, presumably his shirt, and throws them away. By the way, there's a cow in the window. She takes her heels off, there's still a cow in the window. She knocks on the door with the cow, presumably looking for him. Maybe this represents that dude having an affair with another partner that she doesn't know about. Although calling them a cow would probably be a bit harsh given that Sabrina tends to represent men as animals. Hey, remember that murder weapon scene? It was also in this hotel. Remember when she jumped out of the window of the bathtub guy and it was edited to make it look like she landed in a pool but with a completely different outfit? Well, we didn't see the outfit or the shark again, but it was also the same hotel. Needless to say, some wild stuff probably went down that night. By the way, the scene with the pool table looks like it's set in the same hotel that she was dancing in with Hotel Guy. The girl in the green dress we see here is the same one that runs away with Sabrina when man number 7 shoots at her. The girl we see alongside them is the same girl that was there earlier in the hotel. She might even be wearing the same shorts, and I think she was also at the pool table. I can't really make out her face, but she's got a darker skin color. The gun the man is holding is different from the gun that Sabrina shoots the pool table with. We're not even going to talk about the fact that pool table balls do not behave like this when shot. That's a discussion for a bit later. Anyway, the gun is different, but it's still a gun. One can assume that the hotel night ended badly, and they're suffering the consequences of the next morning. Or maybe they were just stealing the dog. Somebody said this reminded them of the scene in Legally Blonde where they take the dog.
I'm taking the dog, dumbass.
Now, let's move on to the less connected narratives. Guy number 8. Right when Sabrina says useless, she's being held at gunpoint, likely in a gas station robbery, while her man is fleeing. The scene is very well matched to the lyric. This also looks to be the same guy as the one that was painting Sabrina, or rather, he was actually only painting the landscape, not her, both useless and not paying attention to her in the relationship. Number 9, the man in the red shirt. Some fans have labeled him the Joshua Bassett lookalike. She later throws a book titled Abstinence, A State of Mind at him. Number 10, this man just sits with her at dinner tables looking like he just finished dumpster diving but in the lake behind him. He's dried up a bit in the second scene. They've got the same wine glasses, but he for some reason has candles with a horrendous amount of dripped wax in front of him. Maybe it's someone's birthday and this guy just doesn't show up for special occasions. It actually looks like there's someone else that Sabrina is talking to in the first clip that is at the table with them. Let's hope it's not his mother. Number 11, shopping cart motorbike guy. I like him. He's chill. He also has a man's best friend Easter egg on his bike wheel. Sabrina seems to like him too. They're both engaged in conversation, probably representing a happier relationship where two people just get along well, but you know, she's still in a shopping cart. Although later she's wearing the same outfit just with a fur thingy on top and is shooting at cars, so maybe that relationship ended horribly no matter how it may have looked. The police is literally after her in this clip. This also kind of looks like the car that is blown to bits later in a random clip, but maybe not. Guy number 12, named the Barry lookalike. They're trying to win a toy in an arcade, except it's not a toy, it's a fish out of a bunch of meals. Number 13, absolute Giga Chad, dancing to the music. Also great props in this one, a wine glass with a straw and a to-go cup lid on it, as well as a Prada branded bag of banana jellies. This might also be the same guy that was trying to fix his car earlier. The baldness and the brown color of the car add up. Number 14, at first I thought he was carrying a bag. That's not a bag, that's a pumpkin being held by a cord. He's also got some paper scrolls. I like to think they're navigational maps. The curious thing about this clip is that they're walking, but there isn't a car in sight. They seem like they might have gotten lost in the swamp, maybe symbolism for getting confused by their own relationship. This could easily represent people giving each other mixed signals, generally just a classic situationship with no label, etc. Number 15, relationship with a lazy guy that won't take her out or get out of his TV chair. Number 16, relationship that's with someone too affectionate or someone Sabrina isn't into as much as they're into her, which somehow later ends her up in this situation since she's wearing the same pink shirt, or maybe she was just counting sheep before bed. Number 17, the guy is playing with a dog while she's tapping the phones. Maybe the dog represents another love interest, but probably not since once again she seems to only represent men as animals. Either way, he's distracted by something and she wants to listen into his private conversations. This relationship doesn't have a whole lot of trust in it. Number 18, seemingly a normal truck dude. I almost didn't notice this, but the wheel is actually flat and his solution was to tie a skateboard onto it. Probably represents a relationship where the guy creates temporary fixes to serious problems when all the relationship needs is well thought out permanent ones. Number 19, the guy's driving but can't see because the hood is up, so he's sticking his head out of the window. Meanwhile, Sabrina is trying to put the hood down, maybe representing someone forgetful or just simply not too careful with the relationship. She's also actually wearing the same outfit she was in the beginning of the video if you look closely. Number 20, we have two clips of her kicking one guy on the ground while the other is maybe trying to save him. You may have thought these could be the same guys we saw earlier, but no, they're completely different. Number 21, jet ski dude. Maybe someone too out of the box for her or someone who doesn't take life too seriously. She looks back while she's on the jet ski, maybe seeing someone she wished she continued a relationship with. Number 22, she just put this guy in the music video to slap him. Props to this guy. Number 23, this guy seems better than the others because he's not the only one driving the relationship since Sabrina has her own horse. However, he still looks like he's hurting the horses, including the one Sabrina is on, so maybe he isn't that great after all. Number 24, sleeping bag dude. Just another poor soul trying to evade death in the Sabrina Carpenter universe where all men get killed. Number 25, we can't even see the guy, we just see Sabrina hanging on for dear life on her rollerblades. Probably a relationship that was going too fast for her, one she didn't feel in control in, or one where the other person simply didn't want her given that it doesn't look like this car stopped and looks more like Sabrina just latched onto it. She still seems to be happy to go along for the ride though. Now let's quickly go through the clips that weren't connected to any specific guy in the video, starting with the animals. Sabrina literally calls her pigs in the bathtub men. The other animals we see also have certain human-like qualities, like eating french fries in the diner or a cowboy hat. The horse is literally sitting. I actually don't really know what the orca's doing. I think it's trying to get the seagull that we saw in the beginning of the video. Point being, the animals here likely also represent men. This could be related to Greek mythology, where the goddess of magic, Circe, turned the men who came to her island into pigs because that was the animal that most resembled their nature. Or maybe Sabrina was just trying to make a point. Some of the men she's met resemble pigs, others chickens because, they're a chicken, but trying to act tough, I guess, because the guy's got a gun. Another guy is the elephant in the room that she refuses to address. By the way, the mug in this shot says, "When did you get hot?" which some fans think could be a hint at the name of a track on the upcoming album, just like the name of the book we saw earlier. The orca could represent someone dangerous. The remaining clips include a variety of random vehicles. The car with the tree might symbolize a relationship that grew out of control. I'm kind of disappointed that the car stuck in the wires wasn't seen anywhere else in the video. That would have been a cool thing to tie back. Like the relationship went so badly that it is now hanging on the telephone wires for all to see. We do have a clip of Sabrina running through what looks to be an old collection of car parts. Take that metaphor to mean what you will. We also have a few random clips of Sabrina in different outfits. We'll never know what she was making that face at. Hopefully the BTS for this music video pulls through. She's also wearing an SC ring in one of these shots that stands for Sabrina Carpenter, and she has worn in everyday life as well as in the Please 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 music video. There's also a scene later where Sabrina's with a bunch of friends in a grocery store. It looks like they got a good lottery ticket or something because they start jumping around excitedly. There is fish on the floor. I'm very confused as to how to interpret this. We also have a number of objects behaving strangely. Not only do I not expect chair manuals and empty cigarette boxes to be located on clothing lines, but physics kind of stop applying. Sabrina shoots the aforementioned pool ball and it turns into chalk. She throws toilet paper on the ground and it shatters. She starts chopping a can of Chunky's beef stew only for it to turn into wood upon contact. Strangest of all, she puts on a nose strip after her makeup. Who does that? However, this is shown during the lyric "Never Heard of Self-Care," probably to emphasize that she, on the other hand, suffers and sorts her own stuff out first, so I get the symbolism. Finally, the video ends when she's rock climbing, the rope slips, and Sabrina falls to her death, which is strange. I'm all ears for interpretations in the comments below. It seems like it's just meant to serve as a wake-up call, but it doesn't work because even though she gets out of her current car immediately, she goes straight into another and it starts driving in the opposite direction, continuing the cycle. Some have theorized that the colors of the cars at the end signify her exiting her short and sweet era and going into the man's best friend era, but that might just be a coincidence since it doesn't fit too well with the theme of the video. At the end, we see a bird flying into the distance carrying the tortoise. This is in direct contrast to the beginning of the music video when the seagull was riding on top of the tortoise. The seagull has wings, it can go wherever it wants and at a much faster speed, but it chooses to sit on the turtle's back and go at his pace instead. This may be symbolism for how Sabrina feels like she chose to tie herself down or limit herself due to the men in her life being slow, lazy, or unambitious. At the end, the bird realizes that it has wings and that it doesn't need that turtle at all. However, the bird at the end also seems to be a hawk instead of a seagull, which is peculiar. Perhaps it represents maturity, or perhaps the seagull simply didn't survive the attack by the orca. About the music video, Sabrina herself said, "And it really feels like a stick your head out the car on a summer day song, so I wanted to give it to you now. Then I couldn't stop picturing the video in my head like a movie. I was really inspired by a multitude of movie trailers, and I landed on this strange, weird, fast-paced world that reflects the song and feels so perfectly Manchild to me. I hope you love that too." Fans immediately noticed the stylistic parallels to some movies, including Thelma and Louise, Jock Toddy, and more. It's also worth mentioning that the directors of the music video have a very signature style, and as soon as you look at some of their work, like Coldplay's Up and Up music video or Taylor Swift by A$AP Rocky, you start to see where some of the inspiration for Sabrina's music video came from. Overall, I think the music video very much does justice to the song, is the best music video I think I've personally seen in a hot minute, and makes your head spin just like bouncing in and out of tumultuous relationships does. Some fans theorize that due to this extreme amount of scenes and the trailer-esque nature of the music video, that some clips might actually be from other music videos shot for the upcoming album and were just montaged in, which would make the Manchild music video a trailer for the new album and would also explain some of the scenes that literally have just like 1 3-second clip. Thanks for watching, and let me know if I missed anything in the comments below.